Chapter 1984. You can marry 10 or 100 more. The door of the cultivation room slowly opened, and Lin Moyu saw Zhu Qiwu sitting at the entrance. Zhu Qiwu sensed Lin Moyu, stopped cultivating, and looked up lazily.
Lin boy, you're getting quite the airs now.
Lin Moyu thickened his skin and remained calm.
I didn't expect it to be you delivering the person.
Zhu Qiwu snorted.
It's not because of your big face. Even delivering a divine king requires me to personally come.
Lin Moyu said.
It's not because of my big face. It's because Saint Sovereign Hao trusts you. Stop flattering me. The person you wanted is here. If there's nothing else, I'll leave. If I stay any longer, I might not be able to resist beating you up.
Zhu Qiwu threw the unconscious divine king in front of Lin Moyu. An invisible force restrained her, making her float in mid-air. This divine king was beautiful and tall, clearly very young, and hadn't been cultivating for long. If she hadn't been possessed by the soul-devouring clan, she would have been an exceptional talent. Zhu Qiwu said he was leaving, but he didn't move a step. Lin Moyu immediately understood what he was thinking and gave him an excuse.
Please don't leave just yet. I might need your help later, so you won't have to make another trip. Please come in.
Zhu Qiwu's face showed satisfaction, but he still grumbled.
So troublesome, can't you say everything at once?
He followed Lin Moyu into the cultivation room, his eyes filled with curiosity. Lin Moyu walked ahead, a smile in his eyes. How could he not know that Zhu Qiwu's curiosity had been piqued long ago? Why did Lin Moyu want a divine king possessed by the soul-devouring clan, and specifically a female one? Zhu Qiwu followed behind, his eyes strange, constantly glancing at Lin Moyu and occasionally letting out a weird laugh.
Lin boy, just be honest, what do you want to do? This woman, whether in appearance or figure, is top-notch.
Lin Moyu's voice came faintly.
Senior Zhu, you are the head of a family, with thousands of descendants. Is it appropriate to have such thoughts?
Zhu Qiwu laughed.
What's wrong with that? We're all men, I understand.
Lin Moyu said.
Then you should marry more. With your current status, marrying 10 or 100 more wouldn't be a problem. As long as you say the word, countless celestial and divine maidens would line up to marry you.
Zhu Qiwu's eyes widened.
You brat, you're getting bolder, daring to joke with me. You started it, senior.
Lin Moyu turned around, smiling at Zhu Qiwu. The two, one old and one young, stared at each other for a long time before bursting into laughter. Zhu Qiwu sat down in the air.
Enough joking, what do you really want her for?
Lin Moyu said.
I want to see if I can turn the soul-devouring clan's possession ability into a spell.
Zhu Qiwu snorted.
Impossible. It's a natural ability of the soul-devouring clan. How can it become a spell?
Lin Moyu didn't agree.
The soul-devouring clan has integrated the abilities and spells of other races into themselves, inheriting them like possession. If they can integrate other abilities into their talents, it means their talents are not fixed. If we reverse it, turning talents into spells is not impossible. I've seen similar examples in the Human Emperor Network. Some races can turn their talents into spells and pass them on to future generations.
Zhu Qiwu still found it unlikely.
Then give it a try.
Lin Moyu said.
Success or failure, we'll know after trying.
His soul power surged, and a vast amount of soul power rolled out, manifesting the shadow of the soul world in the cultivation room. Zhu Qiwu was stunned, exclaiming,
A real world? How can you have a real world?
Lin Moyu said lightly.
It's just a prototype.
Zhu Qiwu still couldn't believe it.
Even a prototype is amazing. With a real world prototype, becoming a saint sovereign is a certainty. Maybe.
Lin Moyu replied non-committally. To him, it was just a prototype far from the rule world he desired. His soul power enveloped the divine king possessed by the soul-devouring clan, quickly entering her body and finding her soul world.
Come out.
His soul power turned into a giant hand, forcibly pulling out the other soul. The soul-devouring clan's soul looked like a small worm, curled up and motionless. There were some runes on the soul, forming a restriction that controlled the soul-devouring clan's soul. Lin Moyu's soul power turned into a sharp spike, instantly piercing the soul-devouring clan's soul. With a faint scream, the soul-devouring clan's soul died on the spot. Lin Moyu's soul power wrapped around it, preventing it from dissipating. But this could only be maintained for a while. Once a soul dies, it will inevitably dissipate. With the soul's death, the possessed body also fell into death. At this moment, Lin Moyu released a vast amount of vitality, keeping the body in a half-dead state, maintaining some activity. The soul was dead but not dissipated, and the body was half-dead. Zhu Qiwu watched, his eyebrows twitching. He was used to fighting and killing, but such delicate operations were beyond him. He knew Lin Moyu's abilities and spells well, and he was aware that perhaps only Lin Moyu could achieve this level. Lin Moyu opened his soul's eye, carefully sensing, confirming that the connection between the soul and body was completely severed. He muttered to himself,
After all, it's a possession. No matter how integrated, they are still two completely different entities. Alive, they can't be separated due to certain rules, but in death, they can be distinguished.
The soul-devouring clan's possession was terrifying, but after death, the body and soul were still separate. The undying flame burned from his fingertips, enveloping the soul. White star-level spell, Resurrection of the Dead. This spell, long unused, once again showed its miraculous side. The just dead soul began to revive in the undying flame, regaining vitality. Lin Moyu had preserved the soul to use Resurrection of the Dead. The soul-devouring clan was a peculiar race, born as soul bodies. Once dead, nothing would remain. If their soul bodies couldn't be preserved, Resurrection of the Dead wouldn't work. If the resurrected target was a possessed person, only the original body would be resurrected, not the soul-devouring clan. This had happened before, so Lin Moyu needed to kill the soul-devouring clan separately and then resurrect it. Zhu Qiwu marveled.
Your spell is truly amazing.
Lin Moyu said,
I think so too, but don't ask me why. I can't explain it.
Lin Moyu indeed couldn't explain it. Everything has a source, but he didn't know the source of Resurrection of the Dead. The soul-devouring clan's soul quickly completed its rebirth, becoming a resurrected being, crawling before Lin Moyu like a worm, extremely respectful. Lin Moyu asked,
What abilities have you lost, and what abilities have you retained?
The resurrected being answered honestly,
I lost the ability to communicate with my kind but retained the possession ability.
In other words, even as a resurrected being, it could still possess. But as a resurrected being, it became a new race, losing the ability to communicate with other soul-devouring clan members. Lin Moyu asked,
Can your possession ability be used by others?
1985. Chapter 1985. Not enough, we'll go outside to catch more. Lin Moyu was unsure whether the possession ability could be inherited, so he needed to experiment. The first step of the experiment, and the simplest one, was to directly ask. After becoming a resurrected being, no matter what questions Lin Moyu had, it would answer honestly. The resurrected being immediately responded,
Yes.
Lin Moyu was delighted. His guess was correct. Zhu Qiwu couldn't help but exclaim,
It really is possible.
Lin Moyu continued to ask.
How do we do it?
The resurrected being said,
Refine our souls to obtain soul crystals. Using our soul crystals, you can initiate a possession.
Is it really that simple? Lin Moyu found it somewhat unbelievable. There might be some limitations. He continued to inquire, obtaining more detailed information. Although the resurrected beings were very obedient and followed orders without question, their intelligence was generally not very high. After becoming resurrected beings, their intelligence significantly decreased, making them more suitable as warriors. After a series of questions, Lin Moyu finally obtained enough detailed information. Refining the souls of the soul-devouring clan could indeed yield soul crystals. However, the probability of obtaining soul crystals was very low. The higher the realm of the soul-devouring clan, the higher the probability of obtaining soul crystals. For a Divine King-level soul-devouring clan member, the probability of obtaining a soul crystal was about 1 in 10,000. At the Divine Sovereign level, this probability could increase to 1 in 1,000. But Lin Moyu didn't see this probability as a problem. He had ways to solve it. Then, using the soul crystals, one could perform a possession, with effects similar to the soul-devouring clan's possession. During the inquiry, Lin Moyu discovered that this ability was not innate to the soul-devouring clan but was developed later and actively evolved. Upon asking the reason, he learned that the soul-devouring clan was once too weak. To please some powerful beings, they actively evolved this ability, using it for transactions to obtain some physical bodies. The soul-devouring clan gradually grew stronger by using those acquired bodies. Moreover, possession had many benefits, such as gaining part of the possessed person's soul power and possibly inheriting their talents, thereby becoming stronger. Zhu Qiwu said,
Is this karma? The soul-devouring clan possessed countless people, and now their souls can be used in this way. If this news gets out, the soul-devouring clan will become highly sought after.
There are still many soul-devouring clan members in the great world who haven't been eradicated. If others learn about these abilities, many old experts will take action to refine the souls of the soul-devouring clan. They might not need it, but their descendants might. Possessing others to gain part of their soul power and talents indirectly strengthens oneself. Zhu Qiwu asked,
By the way, what do you want the soul-devouring clan's ability for? You don't need to possess anyone.
He knew how strong Lin Moyu's foundation was. Just Lin Moyu's physical body alone was unmatched in the great world. He wouldn't abandon his own body. Lin Moyu chuckled and called out Little Mist. Little Mist appeared in the cultivation room, riding her white cloud. She blinked her big eyes and looked at Lin Moyu.
Master, what do you need me for?
Lin Moyu pointed to the Divine King corpse on the ground.
I think, instead of creating a body for you, it would be better to give you a real body. Do you like this kind of body?
When the illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign created Little Mist, he shaped her in the form of a human. Little Mist could fully accept the human form. Upon hearing that she could choose a body, Little Mist's eyes lit up. She nodded eagerly after just one glance.
I like it. Master is the best.
Lin Moyu said,
All right, it's settled then. I'll call you when everything is ready. Okay, thank you, Master. Master is the best.
Little Mist happily returned, clearly very excited. Zhu Qiwu finally understood what Lin Moyu wanted to do and was surprised.
You're doing this for an artifact spirit.
He had heard of creating bodies for artifact spirits but had never heard of letting an artifact spirit possess a body. Lin Moyu said,
I promised Little Mist's old master that I would make her a real living being. Using various materials to create a body is not truly making her a living being. At most, it's just a puppet. So I want to try and see if she can possess a body and become a real living being.
Lin Moyu didn't know how the illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign planned to do it back then, but given his abilities, it must have been very difficult. The illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign treated Little Mist like a daughter and didn't want her to become a puppet-like existence. In ancient times, there seemed to be no soul-devouring clan, so he couldn't use possession. Now that the opportunity was here, Lin Moyu naturally wanted to try. Lin Moyu looked at Zhu Qiwu.
I need to trouble you again to bring me a few more Divine King-level bodies, still female, young, and beautiful.
Zhu Qiwu understood Lin Moyu's idea.
All right, leave it to me.
With that, Zhu Qiwu left in large strides. Lin Moyu's thoughts moved, and he dispersed the resurrected being. The soul-devouring clan member who became a resurrected being was essentially dead and could no longer be refined. Lin Moyu always tried to fulfill his promises, which was his principle. The cultivation room returned to silence, and Lin Moyu resumed comprehending the law of time. Now that he had found the method, he could advance the laws of time and space simultaneously. For now, the law of space was slightly ahead, but the law of time was catching up. In the central temple, the voice of the human emperor network suddenly sounded.
Lin Moyu has constructed the prototype of a rule world.
Both were shocked and then overjoyed. Saint Sovereign Hao laughed heartily.
Lin Shio's path to becoming a Saint Sovereign is clear.
Heavenly Sovereign Tian also smiled.
Lin Shio's achievement of Saint Sovereign is naturally not a problem, but I didn't expect him to construct the prototype of a rule world so early. This is a great joy. Constructing the prototype of a rule world at the first level of Divine Sovereign is unprecedented. Even the War God only constructed the prototype of a rule world at the peak of Divine Sovereign. In this regard, Lin Xiaoyu has already surpassed the War God of the past. The title of the second War God of the human race seems secure.
Both were very happy. This was one of the best pieces of news in recent years. They were also filled with hope for the future, believing that Lin Moyu might truly reach the peak and rebuild the divine path. He might accomplish what Xiao Zhantian couldn't. Saint Sovereign Hao received a message from Zhu Qiwu, raising an eyebrow.
Lin Xiaoyu wants more soul-devouring clan members.
Heavenly Sovereign Tian readily agreed.
Give him as many as he wants. If it's not enough, we'll go outside to catch more.
Under the divine city, by the sea of laws, Star Elder slowly opened his eyes.
The prototype of a rule world, truly unexpected. Can you accomplish what I couldn't back then?
In another cultivation room, the laughter of Symbol Saint Sovereign echoed.
I understand.
The cultivation room was filled with brilliant light. In Symbol Saint Sovereign's hand was a small box, shining brightly, with countless runes rapidly flowing on it, forming a complex and mysterious ancient symbol. However, this ancient symbol still had many flaws. 1986. Chapter 1986. The Rule Divine Stone. The Symbol Saint Sovereign held the box, bursting out of the cultivation room with excitement. If the door had opened any slower, he might have smashed right through it. He transformed into a stream of light, rushing into the central hall at near light speed.
It's done!
The Symbol Saint Sovereign shouted loudly. Heavenly Sovereign Tian and Saint Sovereign Hao, who had been rejoicing over Lin Moyu's achievements, now saw the Symbol Saint Sovereign and realized something significant had happened. Adding to their joy, Heavenly Sovereign Tian said,
Calm down. Tell us slowly, what's in the box?
The Symbol Saint Sovereign shook his head.
I don't know.
He hadn't had time to look. He just knew how to open the box and rushed over. Saint Sovereign Hao, filled with curiosity, said,
Then open it and see what's inside.
The Symbol Saint Sovereign suspended the box in midair, and rule power gathered at his fingertips, beginning to draw runes. He was drawing an ancient symbol, an incredibly complex one. Behind him, a massive, ancient rune slowly rose, intertwining with other runes to form a unique world. This was the world of runes, the rule world of the Symbol Saint Sovereign. Compared to the other Saint Sovereigns, the Symbol Saint Sovereign's rule world was still relatively weak, as he had only recently ascended to Saint Sovereign and his power was not yet strong. However, it was still much stronger than Lin Moyu's embryonic rule world. The runes in the rule world shone brightly, and rule power surged out, converging at his fingertips into the ancient symbol. After a few minutes, an ancient symbol appeared in midair. It was three-dimensional, mysterious, and majestic, exuding an aura completely different from ordinary runes. The Symbol Saint Sovereign sent the ancient symbol into the box, and the runes on the box began to flow as if they were alive. The Symbol Saint Sovereign explained,
The box is sealed with an ancient symbol. Although it appears complete, it actually has many gaps. To unlock the seal, you need to find these gaps and reverse draw an ancient symbol to fill them all. Only then can the box be opened. If you try to open it by force, the ancient symbol will explode, destroying whatever is inside. Even if the contents are sturdy enough to withstand the explosion, the blast will cause a spatial disturbance, making the item impossible to find.
Saint Sovereign Hao, who had some knowledge of ancient symbols, couldn't help but marvel.
The person who thought of this method is a genius. But the fact that you could find a way to break it proves you're no less talented.
The symbol Saint Sovereign shook his head.
It's different. That person could create an ancient symbol with so many gaps while maintaining its function, which is far beyond my capability. I just reverse engineered his ancient symbol, which was much easier. I learned a lot from this ancient symbol. The rune masters of ancient times were indeed far superior to us now.
The symbol Saint Sovereign was not arrogant, readily admitting his shortcomings. Heavenly Sovereign Tion said,
The strong of ancient times were indeed astonishing, but I believe we are not inferior.
The symbol Saint Sovereign nodded.
I will strive to catch up to them, even surpass them. Even if I can't, there's still Lin Xiaoyu. I believe he can do it.
As they talked, the box emitted a brilliant light, and the ancient symbol on the box merged with the one drawn by the symbol Saint Sovereign, forming a perfect ancient symbol. With a click, the tightly sealed box opened a crack, and a majestic aura burst out.
This is...
All three Saint Sovereigns were simultaneously shocked. The aura inside the box was that of the divine path. Amidst their shock, they began to feel anticipation, even impatience. The box slowly opened, and after a flash of light, the contents were revealed to the three of them. It was a stone. At first glance, it looked like beautiful jade, but upon closer inspection, it resembled a flowing stream. Upon even closer inspection, the stone seemed alive. The aura it emitted wasn't strong, but it was incredibly profound, as if it carried the weight of a world.
The ruled divine stone.
Saint Sovereign Hao whispered. Heavenly Sovereign Tion addressed the void.
Human Emperor, identify it.
A beam of light descended from the sky, illuminating the stone. Under the light, the stone reflected even more fantastical colors. It appeared and disappeared in the light, as if it could vanish at any moment, yet it was undeniably real. Heavenly Sovereign Tion said,
All signs match the descriptions of the ruled divine stone.
Saint Sovereign Hao's breathing quickened slightly, showing his nervousness.
Let's wait for the Human Emperor's result.
The Human Emperor network took a full 10 minutes to identify it. When the light finally retracted, the Human Emperor's voice came.
It should be the ruled divine stone.
The symbol Saint Sovereign, who had only recently become a Saint Sovereign and was not familiar with much of the information among the Saint Sovereigns, immediately asked,
What is the ruled divine stone?
The Human Emperor network explained.
The ruled divine stone is a divine stone composed of various rules, also used to construct the divine path. According to records, ruled divine stones are extremely rare. Most come from the rule worlds of heavenly sovereigns, and their production is equally scarce.
The symbol Saint Sovereign asked,
Can the ruled divine stone be used to cultivate the divine path? Yes.
The Human Emperor network immediately gave a positive answer, which delighted the symbol Saint Sovereign. But then the Human Emperor network added,
But we can't do it.
Saint Sovereign Hao sighed.
Indeed we can't.
He reached out to grab the rule divine stone, but his hand passed right through it, as if it didn't exist. The symbol Saint Sovereign was stunned and also reached out with the same result. Heavenly Sovereign Tion didn't move, as if he already knew this would happen. He said softly,
Don't bother trying. We can't touch the ruled divine stone.
He replaced the Human Emperor network in explaining the origin of the rule divine stone to the symbol Saint Sovereign. In the few remaining records from ancient times, there happened to be mentions of the rule divine stone. It is said that in the beginning, the great world had only one divine path, which was naturally formed. Later, the first Saint Sovereign walked the divine path, successfully becoming a supreme, and then a heavenly sovereign. In the rule world of a heavenly sovereign, rule divine stones can be produced, which can be used to construct the divine path. So that heavenly sovereign began to build the divine path but found that the number of rule divine stones needed was too great. Relying solely on his rule world, it would take many years to complete a single divine path. So he traveled the world, finding some naturally formed rule divine stones in hidden corners. Although the quantity was insufficient, it was enough to build several divine paths. As the number of heavenly sovereigns increased, so did the number of rule divine stones, and the divine paths gradually increased to 100. Until now, after the ancient war, the divine paths were broken. The world's resources drastically decreased, and no more natural rule divine stones could be found. The heavenly sovereigns disappeared, and the divine paths could never be repaired. Over the years, saint sovereigns of various races have tried to repair the divine paths, but with minimal success. Only the human race's divine path was relatively lightly damaged, perhaps offering a slim chance to ascend. This was also the fuse that nearly led to the human race's extinction 100,000 years ago. Now, the rule divine stone was right in front of them, but they couldn't use it, which was indeed hard to accept. Saint Sovereign Hao's eyes suddenly lit up.
Perhaps Lin Xiaoyu can use it.
1987, 1987. Chapter 1987. Isn't it a 1 in 10,000 chance? In the cultivation room, within just a few days, Lin Moyu's understanding of the law of time had advanced another level. Lin Moyu estimated that his mastery of the law of time was about to reach 10%, while his mastery of the law of space was around 15%. Soon they would be on par. As long as the two laws could progress together, not only would it not hinder his cultivation, but it would also benefit him, accelerating his cultivation speed. As for the fusion of the two laws, Lin Moyu hadn't thought about it yet. It was still too far off. 15 days later, Zhu Qiwu returned. This time, he brought back 10 divine kings who had been possessed by the soul-devouring clan. Without exception, they were all young female divine kings, each with excellent appearance and talent. Section 2275/2369-2276. Zhu Qiwu said,
I brought 10 first. See if it's enough. If not, I'll go get more. It should be enough.
Lin Moyu had his own methods. If his method worked, 10 would be enough. If it didn't work, even 100 might not be enough. Zhu Qiwu said,
Then start. I'm also curious to see if an artifact spirit can become a living being and whether it will succeed. Creating life is the work of the heavens. Be careful not to overstep.
Zhu Qiwu reminded. Lin Moyu smiled.
Thank you for the reminder, Senior. I will be careful.
Creating life is not just the domain of the heavens. A heavenly sovereign can create life within their rule world. Of course, this creation is not out of nothing. It is of a lower level. What Lin Moyu was about to do was not creating life out of nothing. It was not true creation in the strictest sense. His soul power surged, pulling out one of the soul-devouring clan members.
Refine.
The undying flame rose from his palm, and his soul power was injected into the flame for control. Throwing the soul-devouring clan member into the flame, screams echoed, and the soul-devouring clan member quickly turned to ashes, leaving nothing behind. The first attempt at refining failed, but Lin Moyu was not discouraged. He reflected on the experience, noting that the soul of the soul-devouring clan member quickly began to shrink during the refining process. Initially, their soul showed signs of concentrating towards the center, with the soul's power converging, about to crystallize. But for some reason, the already concentrated power suddenly turned to ashes.
Was I too hasty?
Lin Moyu wondered if he had been too fast and decided to slow down the refining process. He took out a second soul-devouring clan member and began refining again. This time, the refining process was much slower, more than 3 times slower than before. Initially, the refined part of the power began to move towards the center of the soul. This time, Lin Moyu was very careful, not only slowing down but also keeping his eyes fixed on the process. The soul of the soul-devouring clan member continued to converge, eventually forming a small crystal. A soul crystal. Lin Moyu was delighted. Had the soul crystal formed? Suddenly, the soul crystal began to tremble, as if rejecting Lin Moyu's refining. The entire crystal shattered and disappeared.
Strange, it was almost done.
Lin Moyu found it odd. It was almost successful. Why did it suddenly fail?
When the crystal shattered, I seemed to feel a trace of karmic force. But what does refining the soul-devouring clan have to do with karma?
Lin Moyu couldn't understand. After 2 consecutive failures, Lin Moyu decided to try a different method. Zhu Qiwu said,
Don't rush. These are just Divine King-level soul-devouring clan members. The success rate is only 1 in 10,000. If it doesn't work, I'll get you some Divine Sovereign level ones.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
I was just trying. Failure is normal. Let's see this time.
He activated his luck. Luck transformed into a dragon, emitting dragon roars. Zhu Qiwu seemed unaffected. He couldn't see the luck or hear the dragon roars. Luck is intangible. At Zhu Qiwu's current level, he couldn't interact with intangible things. Unless he could, like Lin Moyu, understand the virtual and real worlds, comprehending the duality of the world, he might hear the dragon roars. Although Zhu Qiwu couldn't see it, he still sensed a change in Lin Moyu. In his eyes, Lin Moyu suddenly became ethereal, as if about to leave this world.
What is this kid doing?
Zhu Qiwu was curious but didn't disturb Lin Moyu. Under the luck explosion technique, Lin Moyu's luck reached its peak. In this state, everything he did would go smoothly with wishes coming true. Refining the soul of the soul-devouring clan, with only a 1 in 10,000 chance of obtaining a soul crystal.
Wishes come true, luck at its peak. Can 1 in 10,000 become 100%?
Lin Moyu thought and immediately began refining. The undying flame rose, and his soul power was injected. He grabbed another soul-devouring clan member and threw it in. The entire process seemed rough. In the undying flame, the soul-devouring clan member was quickly refined, with their soul power concentrating towards the center, forming a crystal. A trace of karmic force descended. If it were like before, the crystal would shatter. But the dragon of luck above Lin Moyu's head roared, altering the karmic force. The crystal didn't shatter, but instead accelerated its formation, quickly becoming a soul crystal.
Success!
Lin Moyu was overjoyed, catching the soul crystal. The small soul crystal, the size of a thumb, contained the soul-devouring clan's talent, possession. Zhu Qiwu's eyes widened.
It worked.
He muttered,
Such good luck, a 1 in 10,000 chance, and it worked. No wonder the teacher took him to the Cloud Mist Sect's inheritance. Only with such luck could he reach the end.
Lin Moyu held the soul crystal, realizing,
Originally, the karmic force was meant to destroy the crystal, but the dragon's roar altered the karmic force. Not only did it not destroy the soul crystal, but it also accelerated its formation. It seems karmic force also has duality. Whether it's good or bad depends on luck.
Lin Moyu realized that his method was not just a trick. It was almost like cheating. The luck explosion technique could be used not only in cultivation but also in many other areas as a supreme tool. Taking advantage of the luck explosion technique's effect, Lin Moyu continued refining souls. This time he was bolder, grabbing 2 soul-devouring clan members and refining them together. No need to consider techniques or speed. As long as luck was good enough, failure was impossible. In just 1 minute, 2 new soul crystals were formed. Zhu Qiwu's eyes widened even more, almost popping out.
It worked again? Isn't it supposed to be 1 in 10,000? This doesn't look like it.
Under his watch, Lin Moyu directly refined the last 5 soul-devouring clan members' souls together. Refining 5 souls at once, the speed didn't change. 5 minutes later, 4 soul crystals were formed, with only 1 failing during formation. Lin Moyu held the soul crystals, closing his eyes in thought.
4 succeeded, 1 failed. This means that even with good luck, there are limits. Good luck can make wishes come true, but it's not absolute. Karma accumulates. The previous attempts accumulated karma, which eventually snowballed, making it impossible for my luck to influence it. Is this why the great world is in decline?
1988. Chapter 1988. Possession to become human, inheriting karma. Refining the soul-devouring clan not only yielded soul crystals but also made Lin Moyu feel the power of karma. Whether it is luck or fortune, their root is karma. This is an invisible net that covers the entire great world, and everything that happens can find its root in karma. At this moment it was the same. Lin Moyu discovered this root. Under the effect of the luck explosion technique, his luck had already broken through the limit, reaching the realm of luck transforming into a dragon. Normally, in this state, whatever he did would come true. Indeed, this was the case. The luck that surpassed the limit influenced karma. The original 1 in 10,000 chance was forcibly pulled to nearly 100%. But after 7 consecutive successes, the last attempt failed again. This also showed that when the power of karma accumulated to the limit, it once again surpassed luck. This was just a small matter that happened to him. When Lin Moyu applied it to the great world, he could understand what was happening in the great world. The karma accumulated by the great world was too great. Even if the great world's fortune was sky high, it would still be subject to the backlash of karma. Moreover, the more karma accumulated before, the stronger the backlash. Lin Moyu felt that if he continued to refine the soul-devouring clan without using the luck explosion technique, the probability might be lower than 1 in 10,000, perhaps even as low as 1 in tens of thousands. This is the backlash of karma. Understanding this, Lin Moyu was horrified. The power of karma is not without cost. Every time he used the luck explosion technique to comprehend the law of time, he was also accumulating karma. And this power of karma was the relationship between him and the Great World runes. After all, the laws in the Great World are all evolved from the Great World runes. The deeper the accumulation, the closer his connection with the Great World runes. This power of karma cannot be resolved, and Lin Moyu didn't know what to do. But to make him stop using the luck explosion technique and slowly comprehend the law of time, Lin Moyu was definitely unwilling. After understanding, he simply thought,
Anyway, I don't plan to leave, so let it be.
Zhu Qiwu heard this inexplicable sentence and asked curiously,
What did you say?
Lin Moyu replied,
Nothing, just some insights.
The next second, little mist flew out on her white cloud. Along with the body brought half a month ago, there were a total of 11 bodies lying side by side on the ground. Lin Moyu said to Little Mist,
Choose one.
Little Mist flew around the 11 bodies, looking left and right, liking each one. She looked conflicted.
Oh no, each one looks good. What should I do?
The 11 bodies were all young female divine kings, each very beautiful. By human standards, they were all great beauties, making it hard to choose. Little Mist was dazzled and didn't know which one to pick. Finally, under Lin Moyu's suggestion, she chose a relatively petite female divine king. The reason was strange. It was because Little Mist had seen a female disciple with a similar appearance in the Cloud Mist sect. Lin Moyu handed a soul crystal to Little Mist.
Try it. I hope it succeeds. If it fails, don't be sad. I'll think of another way.
Little Mist happily took the soul crystal.
Don't worry, Little Mist believes in Master.
She crushed the soul crystal, and it immediately turned into a peculiar power that enveloped her. Little Mist, feeling inspired, immediately entered the target body. With Lin Moyu continuously providing the power of life, these bodies remained in good condition. As soon as Little Mist entered, there was a reaction. Lin Moyu also sent a wisp of his soul to follow Little Mist into the soul world. The possession talent from the soul-devouring clan was at work, and the originally shattered soul world was being reorganized, with Little Mist becoming the new master of this world. At first glance, Little Mist's soul looked no different from an ordinary human soul. But Lin Moyu could clearly sense that there were still differences. Little Mist was an artifact spirit, not a human. The life of an artifact spirit is almost infinite. Little Mist's true form is not the inheritance tower but the pearl of the supreme inheritance. As long as the pearl is not broken, Little Mist can always exist. Now she has temporarily become human. If her lifespan runs out, Little Mist can still return and continue to exist as an artifact spirit. The longevity that even heavenly sovereigns cannot attain can be achieved by Little Mist. While Little Mist envied others, others also envied her. Everything has its own destiny, and this saying is indeed true. The reorganization of the soul world was slow and seemed to need more time. Lin Moyu sent waves of soul power to help the soul world reorganize quickly. Half an hour later, the female divine king possessed by Little Mist slowly opened her eyes. She struggled to get up, but her movements were unnatural, as if she was not yet accustomed. Little Mist was an artifact spirit before, and now she had become a real person, so it was normal to be unaccustomed. It wouldn't take long for her to adapt. Her aura was unstable. Before possession, the body was at the divine king level, but after possession, it seemed to have dropped to the true god level. Her aura fluctuated, making it hard to determine her exact level.
Master!
Little Mist called out happily, looking a bit playful. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
You look good. Congratulations on becoming a real person.
Little Mist smiled.
Thank you, Master. Thanks to you, Master is amazing. You did what even the old Master couldn't do so easily.
Zhu Qiwu, listening on the side, thought to himself,
Easy? Possessing a human as an artifact spirit is unprecedented and worthy of being recorded in history.
Lin Moyu said.
Take your time to adapt, don't rush.
At this moment, he suddenly felt that Little Mist seemed to be entangled with a lot of karma. Now that he had some understanding of karma, he could vaguely sense it. Little Mist blinked her bright eyes.
Master, her name was Mo Qingqing, from the Mo family in some primary region. You got her memory?
Lin Moyu was surprised. Can possession even transfer memories? Little Mist said.
It's the soul crystal. It contained many memories, and during possession, those memories became mine. No, not all of them, only about half. The rest of the memories are gone.
As she spoke, Little Mist looked around with her big eyes, full of curiosity. Little Mist's personality seemed a bit lively, somewhat different from her appearance. On the surface, Little Mist was mature and tall, even a bit glamorous. But inside, she was like a child, probably because she had just become human and needed to go through a process of growing up. Artifact spirits and living beings are very different. Now, Little Mist was curious about everything. She even pinched herself, as if feeling her flesh and blood. Lin Moyu looked at Zhu Qiwu.
Senior, do you know her identity?
Zhu Qiwu shook his head.
I don't know. I just picked randomly and didn't specifically check.
After becoming part of the soul-devouring clan, they had lost their human identity. So Zhu Qiwu didn't care who they were. After thinking for a moment, Lin Moyu roughly understood. Refining the soul to form a soul crystal not only retained the possession talent but also inherited the previous memories. In this way, it was equivalent to inheriting the previous identity, and the karma naturally belonged to Little Mist. Of course, Little Mist could ignore this karma, but doing so might cause problems that could erupt at any time. The best way was to sever this karma. Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
Little Mist, it seems you need to leave for a while.
Little Mist's smile disappeared, and she shook her head like a rattle.
No, Little Mist doesn't want to leave, Master.
Lin Moyu said.
Some things must be done, but you won't be gone for long.
Then Lin Moyu looked at the remaining 10 bodies on the ground. For some reason, he felt a certain karmic connection with them. Lin Moyu knew it was because he had refined the souls of the soul-devouring clan, which indirectly meant he had killed these people, thus creating karma. With a wave of his hand, the undying flame exploded, falling on the 10 bodies. White star-level spell, Resurrection of the Dead. 1989. Chapter 1989. The Enigmatic Karma. The 10 female divine kings who had been possessed by the soul-devouring clan were resurrected in the undying flame, their souls reconstituted. According to the rules of resurrection of the dead, their original souls, the ones before being possessed by the soul-devouring clan, were revived. Zhu Qiwu marveled.
Your spell is truly miraculous. What kind of law is it based on?
Lin Moyu smiled.
I told you, I don't know either.
Zhu Qiwu asked.
Why did you resurrect them?
Zhu Qiwu knew that Lin Moyu's spell could temporarily resurrect people, but it was only temporary. Eventually, they would die again. Given this, what was the point of resurrecting them? Lin Moyu didn't explain the matter of karma, but instead gave another reason.
Although they were possessed by the soul-devouring clan, their bodies are still human. By resurrecting them, I am allowing them to return home and resolve their karma.
Zhu Qiwu seemed to understand Lin Moyu's intention, his expression turning a bit strange.
You've always been ruthless. When did you become so soft-hearted?
Lin Moyu sighed.
Ruthlessness is for enemies. For my own people, I am not like that.
Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't say that it was because these people died because of him, entangling him in karma. From past experiences, he knew that too much karma was not beneficial to him. If they were enemies, he would kill them all regardless of the karma. Lin Moyu could bear it all. But otherwise, he would avoid entangling himself in karma as much as possible, especially karma that couldn't be resolved by force. The resurrected female divine kings looked bewildered, not knowing what had happened. Clearly, they had died the day they were possessed by the soul-devouring clan. They had no idea what had happened after being possessed. Moreover, before they were possessed, their cultivation levels were low, and their understanding was insufficient to comprehend what was happening now. They only knew that Lin Moyu was their master and were extremely respectful to him. If Lin Moyu hadn't stopped them, they would have knelt down in unison. Lin Moyu handed them over to Zhu Qiwu, asking him to take them home and providing a suitable explanation. To Zhu Qiwu, this seemed completely unnecessary. However, Lin Moyu knew that after their resurrection, the karma between him and them seemed to be completely severed.
Is it because of the change in identity, or because they will eventually die, leaving no trace behind? Or is it because by resurrecting them, I have resolved our karma?
The matter of karma is too complex, far surpassing the laws of time and space. Lin Moyu could only see the surface, sensing a bit but unable to truly understand. Lin Moyu said to Little Mist,
"Come with me."
Little Mist nodded happily and followed Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu took Little Mist to the central temple, where the three saint sovereigns were chatting. It was clear that they were in a very good mood. The symbol Saint Sovereign was talking about recent events in the great world and the movements of various races. Lin Moyu entered the hall with Little Mist.
"Seniors, is there good news?"
Saint Sovereign Hao saw Lin Moyu and smiled.
"Lin Xiaoyu, you're out of seclusion. How did it go? Any gains?"
Lin Moyu glanced at Little Mist hiding behind him.
"Indeed, there were significant gains."
Saint Sovereign Hao raised an eyebrow.
"Really? What gains? Share with us old folks to make us happy."
Lin Moyu waved his hand, and 6 soul crystals flew over, 2 landing in the hands of each Saint Sovereign. Saint Sovereign Hao looked at the soul crystals and frowned.
"There seems to be the aura of the soul-devouring clan."
Lin Moyu nodded.
"These are soul crystals I refined from the soul-devouring clan."
Heavenly Sovereign Tian immediately asked,
"What are their specific uses?"
They all knew that Lin Moyu had requested 11 female divine kings who had been possessed by the soul-devouring clan, resulting in these 6 soul crystals. They must have significant uses. Lin Moyu explained,
"These crystals contain the possession talent of the soul-devouring clan. They can be used to initiate a possession, not only occupying the target's body but also gaining some of the target's spells and talents."
The 3 Saint Sovereigns were shocked. They hadn't expected Lin Moyu to present them with such a great gift. Their minds raced, thinking of various uses for the soul crystals. Gaining the spells and talents of enemy races was a minor benefit. More importantly, they could use these crystals to possess high-ranking members of enemy races, infiltrating them. With the soul crystals, they could perform all sorts of strategic maneuvers. Lin Moyu added,
"I used some tricks to barely obtain 7 soul crystals this time. It will be difficult to get more in the future, so please use them sparingly."
In fact, Lin Moyu didn't want to bear more karma. Refining the souls of the soul-devouring clan accumulates karma, which is not beneficial to him. Moreover, he found such tricks somewhat beneath him. Saint Sovereign Hao asked.
Did you use one on this young lady?
Lin Moyu nodded.
You know, I brought an artifact spirit named Little Mist from the Cloud Mist Sect's inheritance. I promised the illusory Mist Heavenly Sovereign to create a body for Little Mist, allowing her to live like a real being. But I thought, creating a body would still make her more like a puppet than a living being. So I wondered if I could make her possess a body like the soul-devouring clan. I originally intended to try it out, but it worked, which was an unexpected gain.
Lin Moyu pulled Little Mist from behind him, introducing her to the Saint Sovereigns. Little Mist, who was used to seeing great figures, was initially a bit uncomfortable but quickly adapted. After all, she had seen heavenly sovereigns and supremes regularly. Saint Sovereigns were not a big deal. Lin Moyu said,
Now there's a problem. Little Mist's body belongs to the Mo family in the primary region of the Divine City. Although she has completed the possession, the karma remains. I hope, Senior, that you can take Little Mist back to the Mo family to resolve the karma.
Lin Moyu didn't trust anyone else with this task. Although he had a good reputation, he was still just a divine sovereign. The Mo family also had divine sovereigns, and if they didn't show respect, he couldn't force them. So he thought it best to ask a Saint Sovereign to handle it. Saint Sovereign Hao readily agreed.
Leave it to me.
Lin Moyu immediately expressed his gratitude.
Thank you, Senior. With you handling it, there should be no problems.
Saint Sovereign Hao said,
I'll take care of it, but there's something else you need to see first.
He took out the box containing the Rule Divine Stone. The box had been opened and never closed again. Inside, the Rule Divine Stone shimmered with a beautiful, almost ethereal light. Little Mist instinctively exclaimed,
It's the Rule Divine Stone.
Lin Moyu wasn't surprised by Little Mist's reaction. After all, she had seen many treasures, especially those from ancient times. Heavenly Sovereign Tian and Symbol Saint Sovereign, who knew Little Mist's background, were not surprised either, but Saint Sovereign Hao and Symbol Saint Sovereign were quite astonished. Lin Moyu asked,
Little Mist, what is the Rule Divine Stone?
Little Mist quickly explained, and Lin Moyu was shocked. He hadn't expected it to be a material for constructing the divine path, truly precious and rare. Heavenly Sovereign Tian pushed the box towards Lin Moyu.
We can't touch this thing. You give it a try.
Lin Moyu hesitated for a moment, then reached out to grab the Rule Divine Stone. Little Mist suddenly screamed.
No!
1990. Chapter 1990. Advancing together, entering the Law Star River. Little Mist's scream was a bit late. Lin Moyu's hand had already touched the Rule Divine Stone. Unlike Saint Sovereign Hao and the others who passed through it, Lin Moyu actually touched the Rule Divine Stone. Immediately, the Rule Divine Stone surged like a giant wave, and the light, like flowing water, exploded. Lin Moyu felt an irresistible force of rules rush into his body, instantly sweeping through his entire being. He was blasted away, and a trace of purple light appeared on his body mid-air. When Lin Moyu landed, he was somewhat shocked. He had actually died once. Just by touching the Rule Divine Stone, he had been killed. The power of the stone was incredibly strong. Saint Sovereign Hao and the others were also shocked. They had only seen the light explode, and then Lin Moyu was blasted away. They didn't even feel a trace of the rule's power. The power of the Rule Divine Stone was extremely restrained, known only to the person involved. Little Mist looked at Lin Moyu nervously.
Master, are you all right?
Lin Moyu indicated that he was fine, thinking to himself,
Fortunately, I have the rebirth talent. Otherwise, I would have died.
With a hint of relief in his eyes, he asked,
Little Mist, why can't it be touched?
Little Mist explained,
The Rule Divine Stone can only be touched by a Saint Sovereign at the very least, and when touching it, one must use the power of the Rule World to counterbalance it. If not, the Rule Divine Stone will retaliate, causing injury. So that's how it is.
Lin Moyu thought it's not that only Saint Sovereigns can touch it, but only those who understand the distinction between the virtual and the real can touch it. Therefore, using the Rule Divine Stone to build the divine path is a capability only heavenly sovereigns possess. Even supremes can't do it. Among saint sovereigns, how many can understand the distinction between the virtual and the real? Although he couldn't yet counter the power of the Rule Divine Stone, the fact that he could touch it proved that after understanding the distinction between the virtual and the real, he was qualified to touch the Rule Divine Stone. So, when he becomes a saint sovereign and has a true rule world, he can use the Rule Divine Stone to rebuild the divine path. Of course, rebuilding the divine path is not that simple. The Rule Divine Stone is just one part. There are many other things to do. Heavenly Sovereign Tian said,
Lin Xiaoyu, we'll leave this to you. When you become a saint sovereign in the future, you might be able to use it.
This was something the three saint sovereigns had discussed beforehand. Keeping the Rule Divine Stone with them was useless. They could only look at it every day, unable to touch it. So they decided to give it to Lin Moyu out of sight, out of mind. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate and put away the box. Next, Little Mist was handed over to Saint Sovereign Hao, who would take her back to the Mo family to resolve the karma. When Lin Moyu fully activated his soul's eye, he could vaguely see the lines of karma on Little Mist, which flew into the void and disappeared. This also indicated that the karma between Little Mist and the Mo family had not been completely severed. Little Mist tugged at Lin Moyu's clothes and weakly called out,
Master.
She seemed a bit scared and uneasy. After all, she had just transformed from an artifact spirit into a human and was still very unfamiliar with this world. Lin Moyu patted her head.
It's all right. Was Saint Sovereign Hao there? You can talk to him about anything, and you'll be back in a few days.
Saint Sovereign Hao said.
Lin Xiaoyu, if you're worried, you can come along.
Lin Moyu replied.
With you there, what do I have to worry about?
Since he had entrusted this matter to Saint Sovereign Hao, following along would show a lack of trust in him. Moreover, some things needed to be handled by Little Mist herself. She had all the previous memories, so handling it shouldn't be too difficult. Now she was just not used to it. Once she digested these memories, she would understand the situation of the human race. Lin Moyu returned to his cultivation room. His understanding of the law of time was about to catch up with the law of space just a little bit more. He activated the luck explosion technique again, transforming his luck into a dragon. Dragon roars echoed, and Lin Moyu felt that his luck was different from before. Although it still looked like luck transforming into a dragon, Lin Moyu felt a sense of heaviness, and his luck became even stronger.
My luck has increased again. What did I do to make my luck stronger?
Luck is very peculiar. Although it constantly changes, rising and falling, its upper limit is often predetermined. Lin Moyu couldn't know his exact luck, but through the luck explosion technique, he could feel that his luck had increased again. Unable to figure it out, he decided not to think about it.
Maybe I'll understand in the future. Anyway, increased luck is a good thing.
Lin Moyu began to comprehend the law of time. With his extraordinary luck, a large amount of understanding of the law flowed in like snowflakes, merging into him. Lin Moyu repeated his process over and over. Comprehend for 10 minutes, digest for 2 hours, and repeat. In his soul world, the Law Star River of Time appeared again. This special Law Star River led to an infinitely distant place, connecting to a broader and more magnificent river of time. That river of time, which even heavenly sovereigns couldn't enter, was faintly visible in his soul world. It seemed to have boundless magic, attracting Lin Moyu. Past, present, future. It seemed to carry everything in the world. If possible, Lin Moyu really wanted to go in and take a look. In continuous cultivation, the law of time finally reached the same level as the law of space. The Law Star River of Space also appeared simultaneously, the two side by side, advancing together. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt a sense of balance, as if he had achieved perfect balance and could continue forward. With a sudden inspiration, his innate law, the undying Law Star River, appeared. The 3 Law Star Rivers turned from virtual to real, emerging from the soul world into the real world. Terrifying power filled the cultivation room, the 3 laws intertwining, causing the entire room to tremble and roar. Immediately, the formations in the cultivation room activated, rapidly expanding the space, blocking the natural power emitted by the three Law Star rivers. The three Law Star rivers, with the undying law at the top, and the laws of time and space on either side, stood side by side below the undying law. The undying law was like an emperor, and the laws of time and space were like left and right ministers. Lin Moyu leaped into the undying Law Star River, beginning to traverse it. Others traversed the Star River with their souls, but Lin Moyu directly traversed it with his physical body. In the undying Law Star River, endless waves surged, crashing towards Lin Moyu, trying to stop him from crossing. Both his body and soul endured the impact of the waves, making each step difficult. Traversing the Star River is a unique cultivation method for the divine sovereign realm. During the traversal, the soul undergoes an extremely pure baptism of the law. The farther the soul goes, the more baptism it endures, becoming purer, and the compatibility with the law increases. With the same level of law mastery, the law becomes stronger. Lin Moyu's understanding was that when the compatibility between the soul and the law reaches a certain level, the law will be sublimated, giving birth to a trace of rule power. Rule power is also the mark of entering the other shore realm, representing complete mastery of a law and the ability to change it to some extent, making the law operate according to one's will, achieving some incredible abilities. However, while others only make their souls compatible with the Law Star River, Lin Moyu also includes his physical body, which also needs to accommodate and integrate with the law. Lin Moyu could clearly feel the pure undying law in the Law Star River gradually merging into his body and soul. Step by step, he advanced in the Law Star River. 1991.